buy what you can easily sell. Whenever you're looking to, just looking around to see what to invest in, buy something that you have a pretty good idea that is going to be easily sold when you go to make a move. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with stuff that you might be stuck with. For example, somebody here on YouTube made a video about this product called Goldbacks. And while they are interesting, and I believe that they will have collector value, they're trying to pass them off as currency, maybe a future currency. And I'm not going to say that can't happen, but what I'm going to say is the Susan B. Anthony didn't take off for one reason. We still have a paper dollar bill that people prefer. If you want the Susan B. Anthony and the Eisenhower kind of dollars, the presidential dollars to work, you have to remove the paper version from the market. People are going to gravitate towards what they know. These goldbacks don't have much of a chance unless fiat literally collapses, because fiat is what we were born and raised on. You know what I mean? It's what we're used to. People don't like change. That's why these dollar coins, they don't catch on in change. I have never given or received a Susan B. Anthony or an Ike dollar in change. Kennedy halves, I used to, back in the 70s and maybe early 80s. But when's the last time you saw one of those? The point being is people, again, they want what they want. They want to know, they want something that's normal, that's being passed around every day, and, well, something that they see a lot. A good example of this is I went into an antique store over last fall, and I go in, and I had grabbed some of I've got a whole bunch of Kennedy half dollars. And so I grabbed 4 of them to take with me so I could grab a soda out of the machine over there. And when I get over there, I realized, holy crap, these aren't going to work in their machine. It's going to take dimes and quarters, right? And so I asked the guy behind the counter, I'm like, hey, can I give you these half dollars, these Kennedy half dollars, and get 8 quarters, $2 worth of quarters out of you? The guy takes them out of my hand, and he's looking at them for maybe 2 minutes, kind of flipping them over and looking at the confused look on his face. It was a long time he's looking at them. Then he finally walks behind out and back into the next room, and I hear him kind of talking to another person, and then he comes back out and he gives me the quarters. The guy I don't think that this young man had ever seen a Kennedy half dollar. And so if he didn't have the person in the back telling him, yeah, that's currency, go ahead and do it, I don't think he would have given me the quarters for U.S. coins that they're not, well, they are still being minted if you get them in you can get them in the proof sets, I believe, up until very recently. So the idea here is you want to have something in your hand that people are familiar with. These goldbacks and these novelty products, they probably will have some collector value at some point, but I just don't think that it's a good idea to be putting your hard-earned cash into something that may be able to be sold. The guy that did the video about the goldbacks, he had a hard time getting people to accept them. He had a hard time getting a rate of how much he would get out of them. There was one company, one business that he called that was, I believe, a bullion or a coin shop, and they literally just told him, we don't deal in those. You take a 1-ounce bar of gold in there that's legitimate, and they're going to be all over it because they know exactly what it is. These gold bucks, they don't know what to do with it. And I'm not bashing the goldbacks. They seem like a pretty cool idea, and I hope they do catch on. I do. Because fiat is going to collapse at some point, and we're going to need something to trade in the interim before, So here and now today, my suggestion is do not buy anything that is obscure, that you're looking at it and it's like, okay, this is just a little too alien. You know what I mean? You might be able to sell it, you might be able to trade, or you might not. And the might is the scary part of that. Silver Eagles, they usually have a pretty high premium on them. Sometimes you can get deals on them. I just did not too long ago. I think I bought 120 ounces. But they're known. You know what they are. When somebody sees a U.S. Silver Eagle, a legitimate one, not a fake one, when they see a legitimate Silver Eagle, they know what it is. They know how much silver's in there. They know exactly what they're looking at. and that's the beauty of it. I have Volcambi platinum bars, and I had rhodium from Volcambi, I believe. It might have been a different company, but when I took it and I go to sell the stuff, people know that company name. They know that they're bars. They know that they're trustworthy, and so I had no trouble parting with it. Whenever I went to trade my rhodium for silver, they knew the name brand. They understood that, hey, this is a quality product. It's exactly what it looks like. There's nothing twitchy going on here. I'm not going to have any trouble selling this. That's the thing, is whoever you sell it to, that they're not going to be keeping it in a vault for the next 50 years. They're going to try to make money off of it themselves, and so they're going to have to be able to sell it to somebody. So you want to invest your money in stuff that not only you can sell, but stuff that someone else can sell, because otherwise they're not going to be too quick to buy it off you. And that's just really important. So when you're looking around, I would say stuff like Silver Eagles or Sunshine. I think it's Sunshine Mint bars and rounds and stuff. I believe that's one of the bigger name brands. I only stick to a few products anymore myself. Engelhard used to be the big name in bars. You know, they had these little bars that were 10 ounce that looked like little soap. They looked literally like a little soap bar. I absolutely loved those things. They didn't stack very high, but they were just really cool to look at. You know, really nice in the hand. I had some 100 ounce Engelhard bars that were really nice. I don't like the big increments now. I don't buy anything over 10 ounces anymore. And that's another thing, is try to be careful about buying large bars, because here's the problem. You go buy a 100 ounce bar. You buy anything bigger than that. When you go to sell, you've got to sell the entire bar. Somebody may not have that much cash on hand. Somebody may not be interested in buying 100 ounces off you. Not at that particular point in time. My suggestion is to stick to 1 ounce increments, 1 and 10 ounce increments. Make it, because everybody buys those. Everybody knows what those are. 10 ounces of silver is not such an extreme amount of money that you're going to have to worry about whether anybody's going to be able to buy it. You know, you may go to the coin shop and they may be saying, you know what, we're only willing to spend $1,000 at a time right now because we're just absolutely flooded. And well, a 100 ounce bar is going to be more than that. You know, you got 10 ounce bars and 1 ounce coins and rounds. You know, it's going to be a lot easier to sell if somebody's kind of being stingy with the cash at that point. Plus, if you do end up in a barter situation, you don't want to have to part with a 100 ounce bar. And I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but if it ever did end up in a barter situation like the old Condor tokens, where we have no cash on hand and we're trying to barter with our neighbor, and they know what the silver is and they're fully willing to take it, then yeah, they might do it. Like I traded an old Beretta handgun, an old Beretta 92 years and years ago for a big van. I mean, literally a working, running, and good shape van. Paid $800 for the gun. The guy wanted $800 for the van, and we made a deal. You know, I got his name and all his information just to make sure he wasn't, you know, a convicted felon or anything. But that happens, you know. Back then it was years and years ago, so, you know, into the 80s, I believe. So we didn't have all these crazy things going on with guns just yet. But the point is this bartering. You know, you can barter, and some people, you know, you got something they want, they got something you want, and you could end up trading. But you don't want to have to part with 100 ounces of silver if that's all you have, is just these big increments. My suggestion is to stay completely away from them. I'm not going to tell you how to run your stacking. I don't buy anything over 10 ounces anymore, and I've been doing this for almost 4 decades now, and I got rid of my 100 ounces because of the problems I started seeing when I did want to actually maybe swap something off. You know, well, now I'm stuck swapping off 100 ounces. I don't want to get rid of 100 ounces. I just wanted to do maybe 20 or 30, you know. Anyways, I hope this has helped somebody. Look for a product that is popular. Look for the popular stuff, the American Silver Eagles, the Sunshine Mint bars, you know, stuff. If you can find the old Engelhard and you know they're real, something that is eye-appealing, something that people, something you can sell on eBay in 5 minutes. That's the kind of stuff you want, because that's the kind of stuff you're not going to have any problem getting rid of or trading whenever the time comes. You all have a great day.